Alright, got some pork belly slices. I'm going to make some char siu pork today. This is a very kind of simplified recipe. You can get some more elaborate, complicated ideas off the internet with Chinese people cooking them. This is just a very simple. This is just a very simple one. Some sugar, 5 salties. Okay. There's a Chinese restaurant that I go to in Chinatown, here in London. It's kind of my main place that I go to when I want to have some Chinese food. And they do really nice roast duck. They do really nice roasted crispy pork belly. And it comes just on rice with this really nice gravy on it. They also do nice curries and things as well. Sweet and sour sauce is not very good, and the char siu is not very good. So the char siu pork's one of my favourite things, but their pork's not very. The char siu pork's not very good. It's kind of chewy and tough, and yeah, it's just not very nice. Turn this oven on just now. So that is an oven. I'm using that. It's on at 190. Should let this marinate for a bit beforehand, but I want it now. Yeah, so the char siu pork's not very good. So there's probably 1,001 other Chinese restaurants in London that I could go to, which would sell good char siu pork. But I haven't found them yet. I'll sort that out later. So here's a wee bit of sugar. I'm just going to sort that out later. Too much? A wee bit of that out. So the basic idea is sugar, oyster sauce, and this is the good We Come Keep Panda brand oyster sauce from the Chinese supermarket. Before I forget. So I'll use my, this is going to be dark anyway, so I'll use my dark soy sauce, but the light soy sauce would be good as well. It'll be quite black, this sauce. The pork will turn out quite black, we're not going to get red. Yeah, I'll just finish this, just a little bit too much. So I've got one bit of that for a minute. Now I've got to put hoisin sauce in this. I've got this hoisin sauce. It's not very nice, but I could do with using it up, so I'll put a wee bit in, but not too much. And some 5 spice. So you've got sugar, soy sauce, oyster sauce, hoisin sauce, 5 spice powder. Good chunk of that in. I shall put a bit of salt and pepper as well. So just kind of dump everything in. And then we can have a taste and we can adjust it. So yeah, there's some other recipes on the internet that show some quite elaborate ways of doing this that would get it a wee bit more tasting like the takeaway, like the restaurants, but in terms of what I've got lying around, I've always got this, I've always got oyster sauce. You could probably leave the oyster sauce out, we'll see. 5 spice, I've always got these things lying around, so. That's really good. Yeah, I think the kind of the combination of the sugar with the sauces and the 5 spice, basically a combination of everything I put in. I mean, it's not really like the char siu you get in the restaurants, but I think from just a few things you've got lying around the house, a few fairly common ingredients, it's pretty good. So what shall I do with this? I want to try, I haven't done this before, I want to try and see if I can make that wee kind of a, I've seen them making a wee parcel out of the tin foil to hold it in. See if we can do that. That's good. I don't know how they. I didn't watch how this was done neatly, so let's just line this with tin foil. I think there's a technique to get a nice wee neat parcel, because I think with the sugar in that it's going to really roast and it's really going to stick to the tray, so just to make clearing up a wee bit easier. Not sure this is really needed, but anyway, I'll do it anyway. Just wondering if I should be sticking something in that. I might do is I just get a sharp pointed knife and just stab it. Just might help the sauce get inside it a wee bit, tenderise it a wee bit as well. Probably would be a good idea to marinate this for a bit as well, but I want it now. So my wee recipe that I wrote up from when I did this before doesn't have garlic in it. I don't know if garlic would really add anything, but we'll try it without and we can refine it next time if necessary, if it's not quite right. So I think what the idea is, do I want to cover that? I think I do want to cover it actually. I'll clean up. I'm not going to put that on just yet. I'm not going to put I'm not going to put all that sauce on just yet. What I think I'll do is, what I saw somebody do on another recipe was roast this with the lid on for, let's say, an hour, and then take the lid off and then use that to marinate, use that to baste it, and that plus turning it in its fats and stuff, plus this later on. So I won't put that on just yet. Or should I just shove it all in? And maybe I will just shove it all in. It'd make life easier if I just, because I've got to keep that. Yeah, I'll just bung it in. We'll do it slightly differently. Simplify it even more. Because with the if I put a lid on this, it shouldn't burn too much. It shouldn't reduce too much. So I'm just going to stick that into the oven. No hurry with that. I've got it at 190. Oh yeah, 190, 200, and I'll stick that in for for about an hour, and then take it out, and then we can baste it and roast it and reduce the sauce at the end and cook it for another 20 minutes or so. But we'll come back in about an hourish. It's the old time. Okay, I'll be back. Alright, so that's an hour. I haven't taken out the oven, I haven't looked at it at all. But I will stick some rice on. I just washed this rice before I pressed record. It's not the most interesting thing to watch. I've done it plenty of times before. Just washed my rice. 1 ramekin of rice to 2 water. I'll turn it on. I've got this old bit of cabbage. It's been sitting around my fridge for a wee while, so I thought I'll put some of this into the rice just to kind of use it up. See, it's getting a wee bit old now. And I've got some parsley there as well. I'll stick some parsley stalks into it as well. Just any excuse to get a few more bits of vegetables into your dinner is obviously a good thing. Just chuck that in. May as well use these stalks up. Planning to make cod and parsley sauce. That's why I bought that parsley. So that may be in the next video, we shall see. Although I might do some puddings actually. I haven't done many pudding recipes at all, so I'll maybe do. I bought some dates, so I might do sticky toffee pudding. We shall see. See how I feel. Again, because I've been keeping this bit of cabbage tightly wrapped up in a bag like that in the bottom of the fridge. I mean, that's way past its sell by date. I don't know. Can't remember when I bought that, it was ages ago. But keeping it tightly wrapped up like that, same with the herbs, stops the moisture building up and makes it last a long time. Let's take a lid on that. So just going to cook that in the normal way, just bring it to the boil, and then once the water's disappeared it's done. So let's have a look at this pork. So this is I haven't taken it out the oven yet to look at it. Hopefully it has cooked in that time. It's really good. Not sure it'll be soft enough yet. Ah, that's pretty good, the knife's gone through it. That's pretty good, I think. So what I'll do is, you can see all that liquid in there. You can see that. What we'll do is, we'll get a wee spoon. So basically for the length of time it takes to cook this rice, I'll just baste this. You can see the fats and the liquid, it's going to be really good. In fact, what I'll do, I'll start by turning it over. Splattering it everywhere. Just turn that over. Not in any rush, you know, you could leave that for a bit longer as well. So we'll just roast that until that liquid kind of pretty much disappears. So just leave the oven 190, it's been 190 the whole time, so dead easy. I didn't open the oven at all through that first hour, I didn't bother. So that's it. So basically we're just going to wait now for the rice to cook. And I'm going to just keep turning that every 5 minutes for the next wee while. So I'll be back. So I've gone a wee bit over with the time. So I turned the rice off a few minutes ago. The good thing about that method of cooking rice is that once you turn it off, once the water's gone, it can just sit there. You can just leave it on the heat, and it's perfectly fine to sit there for half an hour, 40 minutes. Turn this off. So I've just been opening the oven and turning it every few minutes, and you can see that the sauce is almost pretty much reduced down. It's just the fat that's still there. So I think we'll call that done, and I'll serve some of this up. So I'm not sure how long that was. 16, a good hour and a half I think that pork's been in the oven, so it should be nice and soft. And this is just the rice with the cabbage and the parsley stalks. And I'm going to let this cool down as quick as possible and get it into the fridge. And the longer the rice kind of sits there, or you know, if it's the rice, once the water has boiled away and the rice sits there for a few minutes, it's good. It steams, it becomes fluffier and better. So I'll take that off the heat. So let this dry now. I'm hoping it should be quite soft. Pretty good. Maybe put a wee bit of... So I've kind of reduced the sauce right down, so there's no kind of extra sauce left over in the tray here. It's all been cooked right into the meat. I'm going to use all this. I'm quite hungry at the moment, so but yeah, the knife's just falling through it. That's really good. Why not? I think I'll just finish it with a wee bit of soy sauce. drips of the light soy sauce from an empty bottle. Why would I leave that amount in a bottle? I have a new one. Or rather, why would I put that bottle back into the cupboard with that tiny amount in it? That's what I meant to say. That plastic in the bin. So just put a few wee drips of the soy sauce over it. And that'll help kind of flavour the rice a wee bit as well. And may as well a few drips of sesame oil as well. This is the good sesame oil. I have to be careful with this because the last one had a wee kind of a dripper on it, but this doesn't. This is just going to come flooding out at 100 miles an hour. See what I mean? It's okay, it's nice. So that's a sort of a Char Siu style pork and rice, and then that'll reheat really nicely. I'll maybe, what will I do? I'll maybe lift it out and put it into that piece of tin foil just to get it out of the fat, or maybe I'll leave it in the fat. I'm not sure. We'll see. But anyway, you just let that cool, pop it in the fridge, and that's another 2 portions. To reheat it, you could probably just microwave the rice. You could probably just microwave the rice as normal and then just put this on top cold. Put the pork on top cold, or you could microwave the rice for a minute and then put the pork on it and then microwave it for another minute, so the pork does get warmed a wee bit, but it doesn't need to be roasting hot. It doesn't need to be roasted again. Eating the pork cold is fine. So that's done. Really good. Not 100% like the stuff you get in the restaurants, but in Chinese restaurants, but still very good nonetheless. Could probably have added garlic into it. I think I'll put some garlic in next time. I don't think it would do any harm. And the rice, with the cabbage through the rice, that's a really good way to cook cabbage actually. Nutritionally, you're boiling it and the nutrients are going into the water, but then the water's going into the rice, you're not pouring it away. So nutritionally I think you're getting a lot of goodness from the rice and the parsley stock, from the cabbage and the parsley stock, so I would recommend that. Really good.